What tools are people using when they're building out and running Kubernetes? Let's look at the VMware State of Kubernetes survey 2023. If you look at the chart, there's not a lot of surprises or dramatic shifts in anything, but you do see in the top two categories an interest in security and monitoring. I think the rise in policy management is also notable to look at. Now, my ongoing theory is that as Kubernetes becomes more and more mainstream, is used by more applications and workloads out there in all the enterprises and organizations, that these applications now need to get under more standard review and governance. Definitely more monitoring that people will need. You know, you move beyond the early users and adopters of this who a lot of times are forced to figure things out on their own, and you move to the more standard, centrally controlled way of operating Kubernetes, which means you get more of an interest in standardized monitoring and governance, security, all those kinds of things. And I think you also see that reflected in the tools people are willing to pay for, which is a fun question to ask, especially for people like me who like their paycheck to cash every month. And you can see that people are definitely willing to pay for those same category of things, in addition to some others. Tools that you would expect are the standardized tools you use as your applications are running in the more centralized and standardized Kubernetes setups that you have. And also, another part of the survey shows that developers, the sort of early users and adopters of Kubernetes, are moving ownership and management to these more operation-centric, more traditional ways of doing infrastructure in companies. I was also surprised, I guess I shouldn't have been, to see service meshes used so widely. 92% of people were using a service mesh, and many of them were using either open source service meshes or commercially available ones. That is, they weren't building it on their own. I always thought service meshes were a little more advanced, but I guess if you look at things like the VMware Tanzu service mesh, there are a lot of service meshes out there that are mature and bring a lot of those, again, regular enterprise-grade features you would need as you use Kubernetes to host more and more of the applications that you have out there. Well, whether you want to check what you're doing, kind of get a baseline of the tools that you're using with Kubernetes, or you're starting to build out your Kubernetes plan and the tooling around it, you should check out the rest of the VMware State of Kubernetes 2023 survey to see what your peers and other people are doing. So check out that survey for free, and it'd be great to hear what you're up to.